Tekken Bowling League is a non-profit, non-professional league created for entertainment purposes only. The events or storylines that occur in these videos are fan fiction and are in no way canon to the actual Tekken franchise.
Get ready for the next battle.
Welcome back everyone, as Team Luxury will take on the expansion Team Paradise today. Representing Team Luxury will be their draft pick Lily Rochefort, and going up against her will be Katarina Alves for Team Paradise. Now, Lily is already throwing shots as a rookie. She's a big rival to Asuka. We all know this. Just look at what she had to say. She said, "Well, surely I can do better than Asuka. After all, she lost to a panda." And now she finished that off with a sinister snicker. And yeah, she's got something to prove out here today. And she's going to start her career with a strike, wasting no time in showing that she belongs here. And she's already going off to have her afternoon tea. She's done. She said, "Hey, you know what? I got a strike. It's over. I'm going to get my tea." Now, technically, Katarina is also a rookie. She was not drafted. She was just signed by Team Paradise when the team formed. So, it still has a chance to get Rookie of the Year honors with any of these expansion team players, but that's not a good start to her career. Definitely not a strike like Lily did. And she's going to trip down the lane with her second ever ball. Wearing them heels is probably not the best bet. And now Lily will let this ball get away from her and just get one pin. If you may have noticed on the left corner here, we have decided to display which team they're bowling for. I know it's probably common sense, but it just helps as a little graphical view there to see, like, hey, Team Luxury is up. Just in case. I don't know, it may stay, it may not. It's just kind of a trial thing. So now Katarina is up again, and another kind of slow miss is going to leave 3 pins. Having a rough start to her career. This is kind of battle of the fancy females here. You know, you got one with the shades and wearing like some sort of peacock dress shirt thing. I don't know what you'd call that. You know, she's dressed to kill. Lily's always dressed up in frilly outfits. You know, so interesting battle here. I guess that's why they chose to match up. And Lily with kind of a straight ball there will leave 1 pin. It's going to be the 3.
Frame 3, second throw.
Going to scoot over. Looks like she's sort of headed towards the middle and then rolls it just enough curve to pick up her spare.
Player 2, frame 3, first throw.
Now back to Katarina. She's repositioning. She's going to let it go. Another slow ball that just gets away from her. She's going to knock down 1 pin. You know, not a very promising start. I don't know if maybe she didn't practice at all. Maybe she's overthinking things. I'm not sure what's happening, but definitely not the start you want to your career. And then another ball, that one goes up the middle, but it's very slow. She's putting no power behind her throws.
Player 1.
So back to Lily, who now has a strike, an open frame, and a spare. She's got no curve on that one either. Kind of goes right up the middle. You know, she's one you normally expect to spin the ball, but she hasn't been doing that a whole lot.
Second throw.
Gonna move over. Maybe the spin is coming on this one. There is some slight curvature. She'll opt to go for the 3 pins and not try to land the kick over for the spare. So she went the safe route.
First throw.
I still think you could have tried to hit a little on the left side and had one kick, as Katarina will get her second foul of the game. Gonna move over. Another slow ball. It's like when she tries to roll it fast, maybe she trips. and so that's why she's being patient with it. Maybe she's getting in her own head right now.
Frame 5, first throw.
Now Lily going up the middle, a slight spin, that pin barely rolls into the 5. Great effort there, a little bit of luck on her side to get her second strike of the afternoon. As she's going to get more tea.
Frame 5, first throw.
Katarina has nothing but open frames. She does have a spare in the second though, but that's been about the only bright spot of her entire day. And she'll hit 9, chance for another spare here. Just has to bowl it nice and steady right at it. She does, actually puts a little speed on that one. And she'll get it.
Player 1, frame 6, first throw.
So we're back to Lily. She's going to scoot over. Again, she just puts a very slight spin on her ball. I don't think she's trying to full-on curve it into a pocket. She just wants to spin it just enough to try to clip some pins. Let's see. She's going to go down the sideline. This is dangerous. Barely clips it, and it works out. It's a very dangerous throw. We've seen a lot of contestants try and fail at that. I guess when there's 2 pins, it's slightly easier, but even still, that's a hard throw to make, and Lily made it look effortless. And oh, what a amazing almost spare. Let's get a replay on that. Watch as this pin flips up, clicks the one, just barely misses that other one. Katarina's not quite having as much fortune as Lily did on her last throw. But can she get the spare? Oh, just barely. So she's starting to gain a little steam now. Maybe she's settling in, getting the nerves out of the way. She doesn't seem like the type of girl to ever get nervous, but I guess everybody can. So, you know, maybe there are some nerves there. Especially when your opponent is doing stuff like this. She got robbed by the 8 pin, but man, what a good effort.
Second throw.
Going for the spare pickup. Pretty straight ball. Fairly routine spare. So we're seeing Lily come out here, and she has 2 open frames. Katarina, however, had a really rough start. She's been kind of doing better these past couple frames as she leaves another kind of mini picket fence here. She's gotten back-to-back spares, trying to go for 3 straight. She's not out of this game yet. Lily hasn't exactly locked it away, and that makes 3 straight spares for Katarina. Yeah, Lily hasn't quite locked it away. Katarina's kind of just lingering around. If she can start stringing some strikes together, she can make a ball game out of this. Lily, however, trying to lock it away with this throw, and that's not going to help Katarina's chances. That's going to be a strike. And I don't know how many cups of tea Lily is going to get today, but it looks like she's having a tea for every strike, as Katarina will try to get one of her own. It is a no-go. That is a nasty split. That's going to be kind of difficult to pick up. It's not impossible, but it's improbable. Gonna let it roll down the middle. Had the right idea. Kind of had that bad little curve to it, and just missed all of them. So her rough day continues after 3 spares. Went back to what she was doing earlier, as Lily will now trip. Get my tongue twisted. Lily will trip down the lane, and that's got to be embarrassing for her. Someone who prides herself on appearance, and then she's gonna fly down a bowling lane. But nice comeback spare there, as she that could have been a strike without the foul, but hey, a spare is still good in this type of matchup. And Katarina finally looks like she was about to get a strike again. Just, it's not going well for her. 1 pin stayed up. Spare opportunity here, but she's looking at a strikeless game if this continues. Fortune is not favoring her today. And now she's throwing out some taunts. Maybe she's just trying to hype herself up. I'm not really sure what's happening here, but Lily has a pretty decent lead and nothing there, but we'll see if she can get this spare. She's sitting at 146 on a spare. At this point, Katarina's done. There's no way for her to come back, especially after that pickup. It's done. Lily just pretty much sealed it. But we'll see. Maybe she can get a strike and keep it close.
Player 1, frame 10.
Maybe not
Third throw.
have it look as bad as what happened. She's all the way in the 10th frame and has yet to get a strike. Meanwhile, Lily puts together a 9 for her final ball. Looked like it was going to be a strike.
Player 2.
So Lily will end the day with a
frame 10.
165.
First throw.
Katarina nowhere close, even with strikes, or triple strikes, won't get it. But there's one for her on the day at least. So she will not be our first bowler without a strike.
Você tem técnica, mas não tem alma.
That is a thing. We don't have a bowler
Frame 10.
that has had a
Second
strikeless game that I can recall. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but I don't think anyone has had a game where they didn't bowl a
Player
strike
2.
at least
Frame
once
10. Third
in
throw.
a game. So she's going to go ahead and end this with a spare, not even a spare, a 9. Didn't quite hit the pins right. So kind of an embarrassing outing for Katarina. Not too bad for Lily's first start. She's going to have tea again. Despite all the struggles, that was not the lowest score in the entire league. So, you know, Katarina didn't have the worst debut, just didn't go the way she planned. So now Leroy, the captain of Paradise, will have to come out and bowl. And they are choosing Lars to go against him. This should be interesting. Remember, Luxury traded for, or not traded, they picked up Elisa Boskanovich off waivers. So they have Lars and Elisa, Lee Chalon, and then they drafted Lily. So that's the 4 people on Luxury. Meanwhile, Paradise is a expansion team that Leroy Smith put together with Katarina and Eddie Gordo. And they got the last pick in the draft and chose Josie Rizal, who is a nervous wreck, but if she can get through them nerves, she can be really good. Don't know if we'll see her today. Leroy's going to have to win this for a chance to see her. And he's going to start with an 8. So we'll see. You know, Lars got a spare, I believe. Yes. So Lars has a spare. Leroy trying to do the same. He's going down the side. Did the same thing Lily did. Just kind of barely clipped it. But hey, it works. When you go for 2, it's not quite as scary. You can, if there's 2 pins there, you can miss a little bit. Hit one of them and hope it knocks into the other one. And that's what happened there. Now Lars is going to just come out and get a strike. So spare strike for him. He's not going to make Leroy's job easy. He wants them knocked down. Remember, Team Luxury got knocked out of the first round last season. This season, it's a gauntlet mode. It's double elimination. So, and Leroy gets a strike to answer back. But yeah, no matter who loses here, they're not out of the tournament. They're still allowed 2 losses. They'll basically just be competing with other teams that have lost, while the winning teams will compete with other teams that have no losses. So, you know, we'll see what happens. I think this year is going to be a little more interesting than last, just based off getting to see. The idea behind this was you got 4 people on a team now. For most teams, I think there's 2 teams out there that have 3, but most teams have 4 players on them. And, you know, last season, teams with 3, you had Steve not even get to make an appearance. So the idea behind this was so that everyone on the team gets a chance to at least bowl 1 game. And that was kind of the agreement, was, hey, let's make a double elimination. The ones who didn't bowl the first game have to bowl the second. So it also adds a little bit of strategy into it. And you can still have your captain come out whenever, or you can have him come out in the first round if you'd like, and that overrules the they have to bolt if you lose situation as well. So, you know, lots of tactics you can apply here. It's kind of a matchup game to go with. Matchup to go with skill. So Lars, interesting way to pick up that spare. Just kind of ping-ponged it. Or what's that game called with little flipper things? Pinballed it. Interesting way. Most people try to hit the outside, have it kick over, but he kind of pinballed it off of one pin into the other. So bold strategy, but it paid off. Alright, so let me focus more on the action here. Kind of started talking about other stuff. Leroy going for the safe route here instead of trying to pick up that spare. That would have been a really hard spare pickup, but I still don't understand why our players aren't trying to get it. It's almost like they give up and just say, you know what, let me just get these three. And how did that 5-pin not get touched? That ball looked like it went right up the middle. I guess it curved slightly at the end and just avoided it, but yeah, that was a strange strike opportunity, and that spare went perfectly through the middle of it. So capitalizing on it there.
Player 2, frame 5, first throw.
Now Leroy with his first ball will get 9.
Player 2,
so we are in
frame 5,
the 5th frame. He is going down the sideline. That is the dangerous throw we were talking about. And he picks it up. Leroy Smith is just showing off now. I mean, you have to have incredible focus and accuracy to pull that off. We've seen so many of our players try that and just utterly fail. But Leroy just hugged the gutter line all the way down. And then Lars comes out and gets a strike. He keeps saying there's no way he can stop him. You know, so there's taunts, there's some trash talk going on out there. Leroy is just calm, collected, and focused, but that 5-pin stands its ground. I don't know how many bowlers we've seen struggle with that 5-pin, but it claims a victim every single episode, as Leroy will get a foul. He stepped over the line and flew down the lane. It makes me think, maybe if you accidentally get a toe over the line, is there an ejector thing that flings you down the line? We don't know. I could imagine Heihachi implementing something like that into his bowling alleys. To where if you step over the line, it's going to drag your toe and fling you down the lane. I mean, it's Heihachi. The entire Mishima family kinda likes to torture each other, so I could see that happening. I could see him implementing a feature like that, and that's why these bowlers fall down the lane so much.
Player 2,
so we're entering the 7th frame. It's a pretty close matchup. Leroy kind of had that foul which set him back a little bit, but he's going to answer right back with a spare. So he's not completely out of this yet, but Lars is keeping the foot on the gas, trying to keep the pressure on. He's sitting at a 125 open, while Leroy is sitting at a 93 followed by a spare, and Lars will just miss half of the pins on that throw. So leaving the door slightly open, he's gonna have to try to capitalize right here, and just didn't domino quite the way you would like. One of the pins got skipped.
Player 2,
so we're entering the 8th frame, or we've been in the 8th frame. This is Leroy entering his 8th frame, going for a strike. Ooh, lucky pin roll there, knocked down the 5, but this time the 9 did not get touched. So he's going to try to get a spare, and such precision. I mean, when there's one pin and he needs to hit it, he can just bowl it straight at it and get it almost every time. Absolutely incredible focus and accuracy. So Lars sitting at a 134. Lets this one rip. Looks good. And, oh, the 5-pin goes down off of a bank shot from the backboard. And that's why that's there for these guys. To have a little trick shots, have a little bit of luck go their way sometimes. And hey, that counts as a strike as Leroy trips down the lane again.
Player 2.
That might have been it. That might have sealed his fate. You can't do that in this situation. And there it is, the 5 untouched. Again, we showed it in slow-mo how every pin chose to avoid it. As we enter our 10th and final frame, Lars taking a commanding lead. That pin came roaring back but missed the 10. So he got 9. He has to pick up the spare if he wants a third ball. Going for the middle, throws it, gets the spare. He will get one more ball to finalize his score, and then Leroy will get 2 chances to capitalize and try to push past that and possibly a third ball if he gets a strike or a spare. But Lars will finish with a strike. I think that might have sealed it. It looks like Team Luxury is going to advance, and Team Paradise not as fortunate as their other expansion team counterparts. But Leroy's going down swinging. He came out with a strike, just blew through the pins like they were nothing. He's making a game out of it. It's kind of too late, but, you know, he's going to go down swinging. Another promising shot, and just denied by the 10 pin. Couldn't even get the triple strike on the way out because the pins denied him that chance. Can he get the spare, though? Of course he can. So a great finish for Leroy. Pretty good game, just Lars played a little bit better. And that's what it came down to here. So Team Luxury is going to advance to the undefeated bracket, or remain in the undefeated bracket. Team Paradise will drop down to the single loss bracket. We have one more matchup next, or coming up next, and then we will start doing the single elimination teams and see who gets knocked out. I think what's going to happen is the first 4 teams to get eliminated will get draft picks, and after that will be some compensatory picks. We'll talk more on that later. For now, I'm going to head out. It's been a pleasure having you all tune in today, and stay tuned for next episode. It should be an exciting one. I'll see you guys then.